everyone, welcome to this update video. I trust and hope you're doing great this Thursday afternoon. So we're going to be taking a look at what is going on across the North Atlantic. We'll be looking at the forecast for now, and then we'll be talking more in terms of development and atmospheric conditions to influence developments. So there is some action offshore the US and the Gulf and offshore the eastern states. And then there are a couple tropical waves that are moving through the Atlantic. And one is approaching the Lesser Antilles, so there's some shower activity moving through. And there is another which is in the vicinity of Jamaica. We can see its mark. We can see all of these colors on the satellite imagery. Let's zoom in a bit more here. So these different colors are indicating the cloud height. So as we head more to those darker shadings of those reds and the black, the gray, that is indicating those higher clouds. And the taller the clouds, sometimes they have a lot of the inclement weather conditions associated, such as the showers, the thunderstorms as well. So we can see plenty of that near Central America, and just offshore Jamaica there is some action as well. So as we head through the rest of today, some areas could receive some additional heavy downpours and thunderstorms as well. Elsewhere, though, aside from a few passing showers, nothing crazy happening. It's a bit breezy as well for many of us. So let's go ahead and look at the rainfall forecast. And here we are seeing all these different colors. So all these shadings of reds indicate rainfall amounts probably up to an inch. And we can see that for Central America and the Southwestern Caribbean, even across parts of Northern South America as well. So the area is generally active. And as we head to the Lesser Antilles, as I said, there is a tropical wave approaching. So that will help to enhance the rain throughout the rest of today and into tomorrow. Much not expected for the ABC Isles, not seeing much color around. And then for Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands in some spots, as well as Hispaniola, sections of Jamaica, as I mentioned, will receive some additional heavy downpours and thunderstorms, possible for the Cayman Islands as well, although the chance favors Grand Cayman and not so much Little Cayman and Cayman Brac. Cuba, in some spots, there could be some showers and thunderstorms popping up later today, and a bit of activity also possible for the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands as well. As I said, it's been a bit breezy for many of us, so winds generally over 15, even 20 knots in some spots, a bit stronger gusts in sections of the central Caribbean. Overall, there isn't a significant weather system moving by to massively affect the winds blowing through the region as of right now. So nothing is going on in terms of development for now. So things are quiet, not something uncommon for the month of July. But as I showed you guys, if you saw my updated video yesterday, where I showed you guys the updated graphic from the Climate Prediction Center, headed to the first week of August, we could see development, and there are more signals indicating that for the time as we close the month of July and head into August. So we'll be looking at a few variables. First off, we have the sea surface temperatures. We can see those pink shadings in the northern Gulf, very, very warm water, probably up to 32 Celsius in some spots. Generally across the Caribbean, we're seeing up to 29, 30 degrees. Around the Bahamas, just outside the region, it is very, very warm. This is going to be supporting rapid intensification because the water isn't just warm at the surface, it's warm beneath the surface. And that is depicted by this other graphic here. So this is slightly different. It's the ocean heat content graphic. So as we see more of the oranges and the red shadings, that is indicating higher amounts of energy, ready to fuel anything that will try to develop. So we see that headed to the Lesser Antilles throughout much of the Caribbean and even up to the Gulf of Mexico and around the Bahamas as well. So again, the water isn't just warm at the surface, it's warm beneath the surface. So that means there is more energy ready for those tropical systems that will eventually be crossing into the area. And the fact that we're heading to a La Nina, we've got a stronger area of high pressure out there. A stronger high pressure system pushes more storms and hurricanes to the west, which means a problem for the Caribbean. So very warm waters will be supporting development, and then we have that Bermuda Azores high that will be steering these systems on a generally westward trek. And then let's look at what is anticipated for the next week or so, and we're looking at what the Euro ensemble members are showing. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, again, referring back to yesterday's video, there was only one track really taking something into the Caribbean. Here we are one day later, we're seeing more members hopping on, and this goes out to next Wednesday evening. So we're seeing a bit more members hopping on to the fact that, hey, we may see something try to form headed to the Caribbean by the latter part of next week. For GFS, though, headed to Tuesday of next week, we do see a few members picking up on an airflow pressure trying to form, not seeing much in terms of development and a strong system expected. So that is not really being depicted right now. However, we are seeing the signals starting to come on. At one point, there was nothing out there. So as we're going to be heading into the most favorable time of year when we will have a lot of development, we're going to see these trends coming in more and more to suggest that we will have these tropical waves developing. And one of the biggest inhibiting factors is the Saharan dust, and there is still some dust out there, but it is going to be eventually decreasing in quantity, which will allow for those tropical waves to really try to get more thunderstorms going and eventually development happening out of those tropical waves. So it doesn't mean that every upcoming tropical wave will develop, but we're going to see quite a number of them actually intensify into storms and hurricanes. And based on the fact that the ocean heat content is so high in the Caribbean, we could see rapid intensification, as we saw with Beryl, happen a bit more often, several more times during the hurricane season. So what should we do? Prepare. We have a break now. I've been talking about that break since Beryl moved through, and now we have that lull period which has set in and will persist for a bit longer. So we should take this time to enjoy the fact that there isn't anything out there, number one. Number two, be mindful of the fact that we're about to head into the most active part of the hurricane season, and thus preparations should be made. So that is what we should be doing on our end. And of course, I'll keep you guys posted as I always do on a daily basis. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you in this video, and I do hope you found it to be informative. But if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll respond when I get the chance to do so, and remember to always be weatherwise.